Things just took a wild turn. A young star in the Western Conference is all but done with his current team, and the Rangers are in a prime position to pounce and bring the young star to Broadway. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. I am your host, Bret Botfeld, and it is great to be back with you guys for another week here on Rangers Digest. On this glorious Monday morning, the 22nd of June, there is a player who has consistently been linked to the Rangers the entire offseason, who has once again emerged in offseason rumors. But before I reveal just who that player is, a quick reminder that about 77% of you that currently watch these videos are unsubscribed. So please hit that free subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. Guys, let's get right into this video. There was a breaking bombshell report over the weekend from the premium NHL insider Elliotte Friedman, and he went on to say the Minnesota Wild offered Marco Rossi a bridge deal, which was rejected. Rossi was upset by being put on the fourth line in the playoffs. He wants to make sure he's in a place where he can play top line center. And guys, as you can see there, Marco Rossi, another disgruntled young star in the NHL who has no interest at all, has made it very well known that he does not want to be part of the Minnesota Wild organization long term. And that brings me to this next piece of information here from HockeyWilderness.com. The New York Rangers are interested in Marco Rossi. This is nothing new, folks. We know that the Rangers have been linked to Marco Rossi. They need a center under 25 with top 6 upside since the Rangers need more youth. Can Mike Sullivan get the most out of Rossi? How much does this shift the Rangers retool? Guys, let's break this down one by one. So we know that the Rangers are interested in Rossi, but as you see there, they need a center under 25 with top 6 upside since the Rangers need more youth. Chris Drury has put an emphasis on that. And why do they need a center under 25, guys? Well, the Rangers currently have two very good top line centers in Vincent Trocheck and JT Miller, but both are older than 30 years of age. So the Rangers could really use a player like Marco Rossi. Mika Zibanejad is currently slated on that third line at center at 32 years of age. That would put the first 3 top lines at center. All good players, but all over the age of 30. The Rangers need to inject some youth into that lineup, and we know Chris Drury has spoken about speed, snarl, and size. Marco Rossi has the speed, he's got the snarl, but he doesn't have the size. But look, he's got 2 out of those 3 traits, and he does have the youth, which is a cherry on top, and the Rangers can certainly use more of that. Moving right along here, can Mike Sullivan get the most out of Rossi? And he absolutely can, folks. Mike Sullivan has been known to develop players in Pittsburgh such as Jake Gensel, Brian Rust, just to name a few. He loves young, aggressive players, and you are certainly getting that with Marco Rossi. 23 years of age, a two-way player. Like I said, aggressive. He's aggressive on the forecheck, and Mike Sullivan absolutely eats that up. Let's move right along here to the last piece of information. How much does this shift the Rangers retool? Now, Darius and I have spoken about it till we're blue in the face here on this channel, that the Rangers are not in the middle of a rebuild. They are simply in the middle of a retool. A team that was not too far away from the Stanley Cup final, just 2 wins away. They are not looking to break it all down, folks. They are looking to bring in players that are established but are younger. They don't want as many aging stars. They want more stars that are on the rise and ascending and have shown improvement over the last few seasons. Let's take a look at Marco Rossi the last few years. And as I said, the Rangers are in the business of bringing in guys on the rise. Look at that 2023-2024 season. That was the first glimpse of Rossi with the pop and sizzle. He had a total of 40 points in 82 games. And then he takes that massive jump last season, going from 40 points to 60 points. He went from a -4 to a +3 and once again played all 82 games. And guys, that certainly cannot be taken for granted. I've spoken about it time and time again. The National Hockey League is grueling. It is extremely difficult to be that durable, guys. And when you have a guy, I've said it about Will Cooley, who is extremely durable and can put the puck in the net. Marco Rossi, the same thing, extremely durable, can put the puck in the net, is young, is fast, plays with snarl. You want guys like that on your roster, and Marco Rossi is certainly that. Like I said, back-to-back season of 82 games. That is nothing to sneeze at, and that is certainly important when it comes to postseason hockey as well, which the Rangers are looking to return to this upcoming season, folks. Take a look here once again. Look at that goal increase. Look at that assist increase. He just got better and better on the offensive end, and I expect him to keep improving. Look at Marco Rossi here when it comes to goal scoring. This is a player that can do it in all facets. Look, 8 goals with the wrist shot, 8 goals with the snap shot, 3 tip-in goals, 2 backhand goals, 1 poke, 2 deflected. This is a guy that can score in so many ways. He would be a great threat to have on the ice for this Rangers team. And like I said, the top 3 Rangers lines at center are all over 30 years of age. The Rangers need to change that. They need to inject some youth. Moving along. Now, a lot of you are saying, what would it take to get Marco Rossi? What would you have to trade? And folks, I am going to take a different angle here. Take a look at his previous contract. Coming off a 6-figure deal for 3 years at $863,000. He is set to be a restricted free agent on July 1st. And take a look at the bottom right corner, guys. He is offer sheet available. What have we heard when it comes to the New York Rangers? They will not be shy when it comes to offer sheets, which is why the Rangers need to make sure they lock up Will Cooley fast, because they can get him anywhere from $3 million to $3.4 million. That is what we've seen hockey projections show. So if the Rangers are able to lock up Cooley, avoid getting to offer sheet territory with him, they will still have nearly $14 million to play with. And you expect that number to go up because they are still looking to make deals here, folks. But even if they don't, they still have about $14 million to play with. And you can present an offer sheet to Marco Rossi, and something that would be perfect is another 3-year deal. I would go the bridge deal route. Give him a 3-year deal, reward him for his consistent improvement, and I would offer him about $5.5 million. That way you're not handicapping yourself this season. You're not handicapping yourself next offseason, which is extremely crucial, guys. We have spoken about it here on the channel. You know who the stars are that are available next offseason. But if you're able to secure Marco Rossi in the $5 to $6 million range for 3 years, you are not handicapping yourself whatsoever. And like I said, I expect the Rangers to make more moves to free up more cap space here. And when it comes to the Rangers and offer sheets, we have seen that Chris Drury won't be shy in offering bonuses. Now, guys, when you offer signing bonuses on these offer sheets, it makes it more difficult for the team to retain their own player. So it would make it more difficult for Minnesota to retain Rossi. And like I said, Rossi doesn't even want to be there anymore. And along with that, it makes it harder for smaller market teams like a Minnesota Wild to retain their players on the offer sheet when signing bonuses are involved. And obviously the Rangers are a big market team, much bigger than the Minnesota Wild. They have cap space to play with, so they can certainly be a major threat. They wouldn't even have to trade any players. They would certainly have to part with some draft picks. You would imagine the number 12 overall draft pick this upcoming draft would be part of that. But that way the Rangers wouldn't have to move any players. They would simply have to deal out some cash, which they have, and some draft picks. And like I said, it would be much harder for Minnesota to retain him than for the Rangers to pry him away via offer sheet. Let's move right along here, guys. Take a look at the Rangers' current lineup. Think about it with Marco Rossi, folks. We see, look at this. Look at these top 4 lines, guys, at center. Every single player is over 30 years of age. That is absolutely unacceptable. The Rangers need more youth, guys. They need more speed. So if look at the right wing, guys. There is absolutely zero depth at right wing. Now look, the Rangers have an identity 4th line. We all understand that, but Alexis Lafreniere at your first right wing is completely unacceptable. This is not even a natural right wing, guys. He came into the league as a left wing, so we cannot move forward with Alexis Lafreniere as our first right wing. What the Rangers could do is they can be more flexible if they bring in Marco Rossi. They can put him on that 3rd line at center, and what you could do with Mika Zibanejad is you can move him to right wing, whether you want to put him on the 1st line or the 2nd line. He showed success this past season, having 28 points in 25 games at right wing. He played much better at right wing this past season than at center. Like I said, if you put Rossi on that 3rd line at center and Mika on the 1st or 2nd line at right wing, this lineup suddenly looks a whole lot better. And I understand he wants to play top line center, Rossi. That is not, impossible. He can still do that because the Rangers' 2 top line centers in Vincent Trocheck and JT Miller are both very versatile. They're not just stuck to playing center. They can both play the wing at a high level. And what I would love about Trocheck, Miller, and Rossi is you have 3 centers right there. 2-way centers, guys. Not just offensive threats, but defensive threats as well. And the last thing I would like to mention here, guys, is when I look at the 23-year-old Marco Rossi, a player comparison that comes to my mind while making this video is Brayden Point. Brayden Point, guys, a similar stature. They can both be effective in 5-on-5. They can both be effective on the power play, and they can both be effective on the penalty kill. So I think as Rossi continues to develop here, folks, especially under a head coach like Mike Sullivan, his ceiling is high. Like I said, I compare him to a Brayden Point, and I hope he reaches that one day. But I see a lot of similarities there, folks. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. What do you guys think about Marco Rossi? Do you want to bring him in? Do you want him to play 3rd line center for the Rangers? Maybe some nights 1st and 2nd line, depending on how Mike Sullivan wants to utilize these lineups. I believe it would be a great move for the Rangers. Like I said, you bring in that speed, you bring in that snarl. Not the biggest guy, but extremely durable. And he plays aggressive for his size. Like I said, I compare him to Brayden Point. So I want to hear what you guys think about that comparison, what you think about bringing in Marco Rossi. And we have a lot more content coming to you this entire week. So tune in. Probably have a live stream coming on Wednesday. And one more quick reminder that if you haven't hit that free subscribe button, hit that free subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.